I'm so stoked for what we've created up until this point. Feather and Bone, obviously, we know that we created it for creatives. We designed this company with the idea of showcasing and highlighting jewelry makers, painters, fashion designers, people who have taken their struggles and their darkness and turned it into light, they're like phoenixes rising from the ashes, right?
Right.
And so what's so rad is how we first started this and how you and I first got together. I mean, the fact that we literally, when we first met, it was like, we were kids when we first met, and then we didn't talk for years and then reconnected, yeah?
Yeah. And it's funny because I met you when you were doing magic in the living room of your cousin's house. That's where I met you.
Right.
Through a friend, and then you blew my mind with the trick. You like burned something into your knuckle or something.
Right.
And I was like, huh?
Yeah.
What?
Right.
Like that.
Yeah, I did the blisters on my fingers. Yeah, and so what's so cool is, I mean, I tell people all the time, people ask me about how the playing cards, how we started with the playing cards.
Yeah.
And then the main thing I get asked all the time is how I got started doing magic, and it actually had to do with playing cards, which I don't know if you really know that story, but when I was like 6 years old, my mom gave me my first deck of cards. I had a lot of inspiration from my family. My dad really encouraged me. My mom inspired me. She gave me my first deck of cards. It was like a red bicycle deck of playing cards, and I still remember what they felt like in my hand.
Yeah.
And I used these cards every single day until I was about 10 years old for like the next 4 years, to where they were so worn out that you couldn't even tell they were playing cards. They looked like beer coasters. So like they were worn out. Yeah, so I took the cards and I threw them in the trash. And I remember thinking someday I want to design my own deck of playing cards, like the coolest deck of playing cards in the world. So you fast forward to about, 4 years ago, whenever you and I reconnected.
Yeah, it was 4 years, isn't that weird?
Yeah. And you and I reconnected, and then you said that you'd be able to really help me come to, this place where we could design my playing cards. Yeah. So let's talk about what you created. You're the creator, you're the designer, you're the artist. Yeah. So you're not just the co-founder and co-creator of Feather and Bone. You found our first product.
Yeah, and it's funny because when you told me your story with your mom, we're both mama's boys. We really are.
Yeah, and you are too. That's definitely true.
Yeah, very much so. I'm my mom's twin. But when you told me your story about your mom, and the last thing you did with your mom before she passed was you watched Forrest Gump.
Right.
And I'm a huge fan of that movie. I love that movie. Watch it with my wife all the time. And when you said you were a huge fan of that, and immediately thought of the feather floating through the air, and I saw it was tattooed on your arm, and I put those two and two together, and I said, I got to incorporate this into the deck.
Well, this brand organically started from that. It was you really, hearing about my story, and the last movie I saw with my mom before she passed away. So a lot of people don't know that, but when I was a kid, when I was 14 years old, I lost my mom and my sister in the same week from 2 different causes. Yeah. So my mom died of cancer a week after my sister, my 7-year-old sister, was hit by a car. Yeah. And the last movie I saw with my mom before she passed away was Forrest Gump. And because of that, I remember distinctively that imagery in the beginning of that feather. So I got it tattooed on me. And you took elements of my story, which helped create not just Feather and Bone premium playing cards, but it helped create the overall brand. And so the idea of the skull is it's this idea that people see a skull as darkness and negativity.
Yeah, very good.
And so that kind of represents the dark times in our life. And then the feather is about rising like a phoenix from the ashes, right? It's like that feather floating through the air in that movie. And so this whole idea and this whole concept of what we're doing is about highlighting and showcasing individuals who have had real darkness in their lives, and then coming up and using those broken pieces and not letting those broken pieces define them, but being able to be defined by what they can create from those broken pieces.
Yeah, and what I love about our brand too is it began with the playing cards and our relationship too right there, but then it evolved into making this platform for people to just really showcase themselves on there, and like a community that we're building with what we're doing. And that's really inspiring for me as an artist, because we all should unite and just
1,000%. And it's so cool that the features, the artists that we've already featured up to this point, that they're so excited about what we're doing.
Yeah.
They're so engaged in it because we all are so like-minded. And even though I come from performing arts and doing stuff on television and on stages, and you come from the background of creating and being an artist and somebody who designs these incredible images, and people like David Blanche from Blessed Designs, he does paintings that are just mind-blowing, and he's done stuff for Theo Vaughn and Jacoby from Papa Roach and Russell Brand, and then you got guys like Mike Ryan designing clothing and jackets for rock stars like Jelly Roll, and multiple things for Machine Gun Kelly, and he's Machine Gun Kelly's twin, and
Yeah, he
I'm
is.
like a close third.
He's more
And
handsome.
then you got just what we're featuring and what we're doing with this, and the fact that everybody's so engaged in it is the best part. And I want people to take part in what we're doing because they connect with it, because everybody has broken pieces, man. Everybody has dark times in their life, and they take it, and it's okay that you're in that place. We're talking to multiple artists right now that we're going to feature that are still in darkness, and they're in the process of coming into the light, and we're helping them move into that direction.
Yeah, and you're not saying we've like got it all figured out or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like we're all still in our own thing, still evolving and still growing, and we all want to come into the light, and actually we all want to just be the best versions of ourselves with it. So
it all comes back to the thing that's really incredible for me is a lot of us seem to have this connection to a higher power. And the higher power is who we are finding God to be. And so we're finding God in these moments. We're finding spiritual enlightenment in these moments. And we're all finding our own path to that higher power. And it's beautiful that we're doing it through art and creativity and connection in that. And and these are people all over the world. These artists are in Florida, Los Angeles, Atlanta, New York, Miami, all over the place. You're in Phoenix.
Like a phoenix rising from the ashes.
Like a phoenix rising from the ashes. Yeah. It's so great and so cool that we ended up being able to connect in our lives in this, bro, and being able to create this not only this product of the playing cards, which has been a dream bucket list thing of mine, and they've sold incredibly well. People at my live shows, they sell out every time.
Yeah, and that's huge. That's huge for me as an artist, as a creative. This is actually the first deck of playing cards I've ever made.
Wow.
And so for me, just seeing like that sort of reaction, not just from the people at your show, but even from you when I gave them to you and you're flipping out over them, and then I get them in person, I'm like, oh my God, things like that. That's really encouraging for me, and just really warms the heart as a creative to do all of this. Just know that the reaction's great.
Yeah, I can't thank you enough for everything that you've done, and the fact that we have so much in front of us that we're tipping the scale and getting this thing going. Everything is manifesting and coming to fruition organically. The efforts that we're putting in are normal efforts of getting content out there and getting people to kind of get the idea of what we're doing. And so that's why the content, the videos, and everything are important to share with people.
It just keeps evolving.
But it's all just coming out organically. So, bro, it's awesome. I'm super stoked for the future with us, man.
Yeah, I am too. And what I love as a creative is it doesn't feel there's nothing forced here.
Yeah.
It just feels like it just flows out. Like our friendship like that is just a huge part of that too. We're friends, and then making this for you, like I said, and seeing your face light up, and it's just everything just flows.
Yeah.
And one of the things that too for you with our reconnection is you really helped me just by being you reconnect with God. And I'm still on that journey myself too, but back in the day, being raised a Christian, I kind of fell out of that for a bit, and then we reconnected like that. So you helped me, whether you know or not, kind of come out of a little bit of a darkness that I was experiencing.
Yeah, I know. I remember whenever we filmed the promo video for the Feather and Bone playing cards, and I remember going out to dinner afterwards, and you saying that you didn't really think about your relationship with God and who God was. Yeah. And so it's incredible that none of that's me.
No.
Me, this thing where all of these artists and creatives that we're collaborating with, we're all influencing each other, but it's not just us. I really believe that it's God working through us, and so it's been an incredible thing. So yeah, man, I'm stoked for the future, and I think we got a lot of. I know all the flames we've got in the fire. We have a lot of incredible things ahead of us. So yeah, man, I'm super stoked.
The future's bright.